This is Totality Prison, the first truly inescapable prison. This is made to trap all the origins from the origin mods and make their powers useless for escape. So let's throw a bunch of crazy custom origins into this prison and see what it takes to escape this inescapable prison. Starting with the mob origins, a collection of 10 mediocre origins that are themed off of Minecraft mobs. Can they break out? The slime origin, nah. Strider origin, nope. Guardian origin, ain't happening. Evoker origin, nope, not happening. Wolf origin, Snow Golem, why'd you even try with a snowy boy? Witch origin, nope. Bee origin, Fox origin, nah. Drowned origin, nope. This prison, or cell more like it, has a few interesting secrets that lead it to be far more secure than what it first seems. The first of which are the walls. Usually you'll see prisons use obsidian or bedrock for the walls to make them more difficult, if not almost impossible, to break. Now bedrock isn't exactly survival friendly, and let's be honest, it's a way too easy of a solution to this problem. Obsidian though, when given enough time, can be broken through if they have the option to do so. 𝓵𝓷𝓴𝓼 and 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼, the creators of this prison, made a wall that is more difficult than a simple obsidian wall to pass through with this regenerating cobblestone wall. Whenever you try to break a piece of the wall, the system is quick to replace that block. If you could break the wall fast enough, you could back up the system for a few moments, leaving holes open for a little bit more time than usual. So beyond this, there's just another layer of obsidian and lava, pretty much making it far more difficult to break through, because not only does obsidian take a long time to break, even if you break it slightly faster than normal, eventually the cobblestone will catch back up and fill in that hole again, resetting your mining timer and pretty much starting the process all over again. So the first special origin of the lot we have here is called the Homeland origin. This one is ridiculously overpowered with creative flights in survival mode, as well as the ability to fling yourself way up into the air, laser beam, etc, etc. Ultimately it doesn't matter though, because despite the fact that you can fly up in creative mode as flight in survival mode, you still have that weird thing where your braking speed is pretty much non-existent, way worse than typical survival braking speed, because for some reason that's just a thing that exists in Minecraft. And then furthermore too, that just going into lava, you can move around the lava, but you still do take damage. Granted, it takes a lot longer to actually die from lava damage with that, but it's all the same. It's the overpowered origin, doesn't get too much awesome about it. The Sans version 2 origin's another interesting origin to look at. There's not really anything too special about it when it comes to getting out of a situation like these, aside from its little dodge ability. When it comes down to the dodge ability of the Sans, effectively it pretty much teleports you a few inches, like very minimal distance in a random direction every time you take damage. So what happens here? Nothing else really happens with the Sans origin though, kinda useless really. Well, what about the Phantom origin or other origins with the phasing ability as well? Well, that's another secret to this prison. Whilst yes, the floor to this platform does have a solid route to a space outside, leading to the bed that you respawn in, it's ultimately a useless route to get out, as at a certain point there is obsidian in this route. Most phasing abilities are built with the disability or the disadvantage of not being able to phase through obsidian, because that would be kind of broken, as well as most custom origins do take advantage of the code used for the Phantom's ability instead of just creating the code themselves, because, you know, less work. And even the route down is crafted with cobblestone, feeded by a same system or similar system that feeds the walls, that makes it so even if you do break the cobblestone and you phase through, it will ultimately be replaced quite quickly by the cobblestone generators that are down below. And the only solid line down is the main respawning point above the bed itself. Around the actual main line itself, it alternates between layers of obsidian and layers of lava. So even if you do find a way to get through the obsidian itself, you will hit lava and ultimately die from it instead. But it's a different story with the Sans version 1 origin or the original version. This one, when you take damage and you use your dodge ability to teleport away from the damage source by a few micro nanometers, you teleport to the top of a block, right? That means you teleport to the surface of the actual thing, because there's a bit of a weird quirk with the bugginess I'll go over in a moment, but effectively speaking, because of this quirkiness, Sans version 1 can teleport to the top of the very prison itself and escape. Unfortunately though, you can't outlive the fall damage that you have to take in order to actually escape. The Cursed Origin's an interesting thing. It's an OP origin in its own way, but most of its abilities get pretty much nullified if you're inside. And then furthermore, you don't have any form of lava resist or any form of jump boost, so yeah, you're dead to lava pretty quickly. So about that quirk from the Sans origin. Overall, Sans V1 was a very good origin, but there was a few bugs that came along with it. The biggest one was with the main ability, the dodge ability. Part of the code was made to make sure that you would always be on top of the block that you would dodge/teleport towards, so you don't suffocate by dodging into the interior of a block and then dying that way. But a certain problem with that code is that it would teleport you to the top of all blocks, the very top block of the world. If you took damage whilst in a cave, it would teleport you back to the surface. If you took damage whilst in the nether, to the nether roof you will go, basically making this origin almost unusable when it comes to playing Minecraft generally because you couldn't use the nether. The next origin for the Gauntlet is the Little Knight origin. Now, this one has a few orange special abilities that I want to make note of, and one of them is the ability to double jump pretty well, and then another propulsion ability that's theoretically meant to allow you to go through blocks if you're close enough to them. So that's what you mainly see me do for the majority of this bit of recording here, that I'm trying to use my two different jump abilities to attempt to try and go to the top level and go through the top end of cobblestone, as it's like the weaker point in the main area effectively, but ultimately I get nowhere. I just die effect over and over and over again, getting absolutely nowhere. Nothing useful out of this origin. Again, yet another one that cannot escape this prison. The Forgotten Armor origin is a more interesting origin. It's got a lot less health in comparison to most other origins, but it does have the little bonus of being completely immune to any form of lava damage. Now, you do have a few collection of different abilities, but ultimately almost all of them are going to be completely useless when it is for attempting to even get out of this prison. The only thing that will be of any use to you is the fact that you can survive in lava, but even then you'd still need to mine through the main cobblestone regenerating wall first, and then you need to actually get through to the obsidian and so on and so forth, making it just overall a very difficult journey to even think about pulling off, let alone actually pulling off in the first place. So we talked about the main cobblestone wall earlier, that regenerating cobblestone wall that has a layer of obsidian and lava behind it. Well, this continues on. It's two spots of lava, and then we move on to another layer of obsidian, and then more lava, and then more obsidian. Effectively around 5 different layers of obsidian and lava repeating itself. Theoretically, the Enderian origin with the use of the E-pearls that glitch through the walls, as well as logging in and logging out of the world repetitively in order to move through the lava without taking any form of damage, is a way to possibly escape this prison. But again, it doesn't account for the fact that we could have some form of chunk border damage. If you go beyond a certain point of the prison, via the prison itself, you'll take a lot of damage that instantly kills you, or another thing along those lines. This little section here makes it very painful to roam outside the first layer of the wall, as it's just consistent lava, then obsidian wall, then lava, which just slows you down and makes your braking a lot slower than typical vanilla braking speed. The next origin dipping into the gauntlet is the Dimensional Traveler origin, which has two versions, a Scorched and an Ice version. Basically, he can go into a different dimension. As look, here we go, we're going into a different dimension, we're traveling through it, and now we're teleporting out. I suppose we have the origin that's escaped. Well, bye bye.